Namaskar and welcome to Facebook Live. Um, so first of all, like to say thank you for the invitation to Karwaan Initiative. It's a group of very passionate students from Delhi University who are organizing this series, bringing in various personalities from different fields, but all related to Indian heritage, Indian culture, music, history, and everything else. So, thank you for this and keep doing the good work. I think this is really great that musicians such as me can come and share some of our knowledge, some of our insights on the historical aspects of music, especially Indian classical music, which is it dates back thousands of years. So I'm really very excited to be here today. The Facebook Live. I'd also like to acknowledge my wife Mandovi, who is in charge of the videography. So I can't directly see your questions here, but I'll be talking and then playing some music. So when Ishan contacted me about this particular event, I thought of what really I could talk about, or I could say about Indian classical music, because it's such a vast subject. So instead I thought it's perhaps going to be better to talk more about the Sarod, which is this instrument that I play. So the Sarod is a relatively modern instrument, given the timeline of Indian classical music in general. The Sarod, it's said that the word can be traced to a Persian word sarud, that means melody. And as in everything historical, there are always three opinions about everything. So in terms of the Sarod, it is generally accepted that the Sarod has undergone evolution from the Rabab. That's the parental instrument of the Sarod. The Rabab is a folk instrument which is still very popular, played in various parts of the world, especially in Central Asia, Iran, Afghanistan, and that region. Now, it is generally accepted that traders from that region during the Mughal dynasty, they brought the Rabab to India. And once the Rabab came to India, there were, I think it's unfair to take any name specifically, there were many legends of yesteryear who were influential in really transforming the Rabab into what we see today as this modern Sarod. One of the I think let's talk a little about the construction and the make of the instrument, because that can also go into different segues. It's a vast subject. One of the main differences that you can observe in this instrument when you compare it with, say, a guitar or a sitar excuse me, is that it's a fretless instrument. There are no frets, which means that you don't exactly know where the notes are, sa re ga ma pa dha ni, where they are. So it's a lot of intuition, a lot of practice, and it's actually considered a more complex or a difficult instrument to pick up because of that. So all these notes, there are no predetermined frets or frequency positions where those notes are. The sarod, as you see, it's a wooden construction. It's a drum here. It's a acoustic instrument. It's what is known as a self-amplified instrument in many ways because of this drum. It's a goatskin drum that amplifies the sound that comes out. It's a hollow wooden instrument. There are various pegs, as you see, and there are different kinds and makes of the sarod, and again that depends on the playing style, or the also called gharana in Indian classical music. A gharana is an ideological thought and style of playing, and there are various gharanas in Indian classical music. Depending on gharanas, there can be various makes of the sarod. Today there are two distinct constructions of this instrument. What you see in front of you is an 8-peg sarod, so there are 8 main pegs here, and this is typical of the Maihar Gharana construction of the sarod. As you see, there are a total of 25 strings in this instrument, including 15 sympathetic strings, which are always tuned to the particular scale or the raga that a musician is presenting. So other gharanas of music include the Senia Binka, the Gwalior Gharana, the Rampur Shahjahanpur Gharana, and they have a different construction. It's a 6-peg instrument instead of the 8. Now, this is the plectrum that we strike the strings with, called jaba, and this is made of coconut shell. And another characteristic of this instrument is the way of playing. You play with the tip of your fingernails, which brings this metallic, almost human-like sound and emotion of the instrument. It is said that the sarod, the evolution from the rabab, happened in such a way so that the sarod could emote human voice, human emotions, and it's supposed to be the Indian classical instrument that's closest to singing and vocal music. So I think with that introduction, I guess everyone, including myself, just interested in the musical aspect, in playing and performing. And if there are any questions related to the sarod or Indian classical music, leave a comment and I will go back and answer those later. So the way I've envisioned today, based on inputs from the organizers as well, is to divide up in some small parts. First, as you know, these are unprecedented times. We are all in lockdown in various parts of the world. I am speaking to you today from the United States. We don't have the luxury of a tabla accompaniment today, so I'm going to be presenting the alap section, as the introduction to a rag. So that is going to be the main presentation, and after that there's going to be a few other small sections that I'll be presenting today. So with that, I guess it's end of the lecture and start of the actual demonstration. So thank you again for joining in. Please do like and share the Karwaan Initiative page. They're doing a fantastic job. So with that, let me get started. First of all, of course, I'd like to acknowledge my guru, Pandit Alok Lahiri, with whose blessings I've learned music for more than 2 decades now under him, and what I'll be presenting is a reflection of his playing style and his unique representation. So with that, let me get started. The first rag that I am starting off today is Rag Megh, and I'll be playing an Alap Jor Jhala based on this. So thank you again. Thank you so much. Thank you. So that was Rag. I'm not going into the rhythmic sections of a rag. Usually, in Indian classical music, we start with the Alap Jod Jhala, which is really laying out the foundation of the rag through, the framework of the rag that is really laid down through the Alap Jod and Jhala. And after that, the rhythmic sections that we would play, which are set in beats, in rhythmic cycles, different tals. Variety of different tals, jap tal, rupak, teen tal, that musicians play. And generally Indian classical music, it's always like a crescendo. It goes up and up in terms of the amplitude, the vibrations, the frequencies, in a sense, and it ends on a high. So that's a general framework of a rag. Now, moving forward, what I want to do today, again based on conversations I had with Ishan, is to play a little bit of a dhun, which is like it's like the dessert at the end of food. So I'm going to play a small dhun that I learned again from my guru. This is based in Rag Mishra Pilu, and what I'm going to do, I realized that we don't have a tabla with us, so I'm going to keep it very simple, and what I essentially also want to do is pay a musical tribute to one of the legends of India, Kavi Guru Rabindranath Tagore, whose birthday was very recently. I am from Kolkata, from West Bengal, and I think Rabindranath Tagore is not just an icon of Bengal, but of the whole of India. So I'm going to play a few of very popular Rabindra Sangeets through this dhun, and we will take it from there. Popular dhun, which has been played by a lot of different legendary musicians, and I'm sure many of you probably have heard this as well. This particular interpretation of this playing style I've actually learned again from my guru, and also from my guru dada Pandit Lahiri, and his style of playing. Sangeets, as I said. This Rabindra Sangeet was actually influenced by a Bengali folk song, so it's shades of both Rabindra Sangeet and Bengali folk. And I want to end with another, perhaps in a very much even more popular Rabindra Sangeet. I'm just going to let the guessing for this be up to you. So thank you again. So that was the second presentation. I think that almost brings us to the end of this Facebook live session. Once again, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for sharing my music. Again, always wanted to again have a shout out for the Karwaan initiative, to Ishan and his friends for organizing this. Tuning 25 strings is not an easy task. Sometimes they go a bit off tune here and there. I'd like to end today with a message of love and unity. These are unprecedented times for all of us throughout the world. I mean, no one would have thought a couple of months ago that we would all be under lockdown today. So this is really a message of hope, and it's a very, very popular bhajan. So not going to really talk about it. It's something which all of you know, Vaishnava Bhajan. So let's just go straight into it, and we will end the session after that. So again, thank you so much for joining. So with that, we come to the end of this session. Again, please like, share, follow the Karwaan Initiative page. There are going to be some fantastic speakers coming in and sharing their insights about various things related to Indian history, Indian culture. So again, thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for joining in today's Facebook Live. So all the way from Atlanta, US, it's goodbye, good night, stay safe, and all the best to everyone. Thank you so much.